Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee. This is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you all are enjoying your week so far. It's a lovely day here in Austin, Texas, and it's about to get even lovelier as we sit down and discuss some good topics, guys. To be honest, let's do this. I have a couple things I'm just going to run through very briefly, of course. There's really only two subjects I have on the agenda, but I want to talk House of X. The newest issue of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men run came out yesterday, and it kind of blew my mind a little bit. So I want to talk about that, but I'm going to save it for last. I'm going to pause that, talk about a couple brief things first, and then I'll get to that. Probably going to be a short show today, but just to briefly mention, tomorrow a new episode of Titans is going to pop up on the DC streaming service. I enjoy Titans. The first episode of this new season had to wrap up the season 1 plot with Raven and Trigon, and I wasn't a big fan of it. But episode 2 looks like they're setting up this season with Dr. Light and Deathstroke. We haven't seen Superboy yet or Aqualad, but I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed this last episode. Excited to see more episodes. Excited maybe at some point Dick Grayson will put on the Nightwing costume. I'm not going to hold my breath to that, but I'm enjoying this last episode of Titans, so I'm excited for tomorrow's episode. So, of course, if you guys are watching it, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think about it. Okay, so let's get to the actual main topics for today. Like I said, I don't have a lot of them, and I actually don't have a lot to say about them, but I wanted to mention them to you just to put them on your radar if you haven't heard about them already. So starting off, a trailer has come out for a new Netflix series called Raising Dion. Now, this is based off a comic book, actually, by Sammy Liu, and honestly, I don't know a lot about it. I've never heard of the comic book before. I've never heard about the show before. It's being executive produced by Michael B. Jordan. We all know that name. But the synopsis is, quote, a widowed single mom discovers that her son has superpowers and tries to figure out how to raise him safely and responsibly. So, of course, if you hop online, you can watch the trailer for this. And, you know, it's your basic kid has superpowers, our kid is special, government tries to get him, mom and whoever has to try to save him. It's a story that we've seen several times before, but done in an interesting way. It could be something good. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan's attached to do it. What's his name? Ritter. What is his name? I can't remember John Ritter's son's first name. Jason Ritter. There you go. Jason Ritter, the son of the late John Ritter. He's in this as well, too. But yeah, again, it's just a trailer. It's up the alley of the sci-fi, comic book genre. So I wanted to put that on your guys' radar. You can hop on YouTube or hop on the Facebook or Twitter account. Look at the trailer there. Let me know what you think about it. It's going to hit Netflix October 4th. I'm going to check it out. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for it. But, of course, I want to check it out just to see if it's any good. And if you guys check it out, fire back and let me know what you think. All right, next up, a couple days ago, NBCUniversal came out with a slate for their upcoming streaming service called Peacock. Yes, it's called Peacock. Now, we are right in the middle of streaming wars, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do we have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Crackle, whatever. Upcoming, we got Disney Plus, we've got HBO Max, we've got this NBC Universal. What studios have realized is that Netflix has made a crap load of money streaming TV shows and movies. Other studios, TV shows and movies, so they've decided to take it all back and make their own money, pretty much is what it comes down to. So all these studios are starting to come out with their own streaming services. It's like, someone had an idea that was great, and then someone comes along and makes it better, steals it, borrows it, whatever. But that's what's happening. So NBC Universal is coming out with, a bunch of original content too. On top of that, of course, they got The Office coming in 2020. Parks and Rec is going to be on there in 2021, along with a slew of other shows that they have produced throughout the decades. One of the things they're doing is a Saved by the Bell reboot. Okay. But the main one, of course, is Battlestar Galactica they're talking about. Now, there have been several renditions of Battlestar Galactica going back to 1978. The most predominant one was in 2003, I believe, when it came out by Ron Moore. There we go. No, I wasn't having a stroke. I just couldn't remember the guy's name. Ron Moore. Anyway, so Hollywood Reporter says that it's going to be inspired by the 2004 series developed by Ron Moore and not based on the 1978 original from Glenn A. Larson. So, truth be told, I know Battlestar Galactica. I've heard great things about the early 2000s show. I've never watched a single episode. It's one of those shows where, like, I say I'm going to watch it. I know about it. I know people like it, and I really want to check it out, but I've never really gotten to it. However, this resurgence of the show that's going to be on NBC's streaming service, I guess I'll check it out. I think it's on Amazon, I believe, so I can check it out there. Maybe it's on Netflix, but one of the two, I'm going to go and check it out, see what it's all about, because honestly, yes, Battlestar Galactica started before I was even born. So you think I'd know a little bit more about it, being that I'm a geek, but I don't. So I'm going to have to go check this out, guys. So I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. Needless to say, it's a popular TV show that they're rebooting, doing a fresh start. With me and reboots and remakes, I've always said that's fine. Just give me something different. Give me some different angle on the story that makes it fresher, that makes it different from originals. So I guess I'm just going to have to go and check it out. So I'll add another show to my list on top of my many lists that I have on Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and all these other streaming services that I still haven't gotten to and will probably never get to, but I'll put it on there, see how it goes, guys. All right, well, that is it as far as like main news topics that I wanted to cover. Like I said, I didn't have a lot to say about either one of them. I'm not a big, Battlestar Galactica fan. I really know nothing about Battlestar Galactica, as you have just realized. So if you are a fan of that, of course, fire back. Let me know if you're excited for this and how you feel about any of the other Battlestar Galactica series going on. But now let's get to something I actually do know a little bit about. X-Men. So was it 2 months ago maybe or so? Jonathan Hickman took over as writing the X-Men books. Now before they started off, rebooting everything with titles like X-Men and X-Force and whatever else they're going to do, they teased that they were going to kind of redefine the X-Men. And they started off with these two books called House of X and Powers of X. And each one comes out every week. And again, really is set to change the way the X-Men operate. I was a little lost at the beginning because I jumped from, reading the regular X-Men comics where Cyclops and Wolverine were leading a small ragtag group of mutants and they were hiding out in a warehouse or something, okay? Going to the following week where it's completely different. Professor Xavier and the X-Men are living on the island of Kuroka. I never say it right. I know I never say it right. And the governments are asking them for all their technology and how to help them. It was very weird jumping from 1 week to the next. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on, honestly. But as it's gone on a little bit more, we come to realize it's all a time travel, reality warping storyline. What they've done is taken the character of Moira McTaggart, who's played by Rose Byrne in the most recent X-Men films, and longtime lover of Professor Xavier, and made her a mutant. And she's a mutant who reincarnates, so to speak. She's a mutant who, every time she dies, she goes back and relives the same life with the memories of her old life. So say for instance, she was born in 1963, dies in 1990, okay? She goes back to 1963 and is born again with all the memories of her old life. So after a couple lives, by like the time she's like 12, she graduates college and is considered a prodigy. Why? Because she's been through college several times before at that point. So throughout that, she decides that she's going to help the world. Several times in several lives, she seeks out the help of Charles Xavier. Sometimes it's Magneto. Even one time it's even Apocalypse. But yeah, she's very key. And, through her influence, she keeps changing the world every time over. Now, in, I believe it was Powers of X, you jump 1,000 years in the future, and this band of mutants are trying to save her because I believe it's some Sentinels, if I remember correctly, had frozen her, kept her alive and frozen her because they didn't want her to die and reset the reality where they had taken over. But Wolverine pops up, stabs her, and, reality is going to be reset. So there you have it. But in this one we have now, it's pretty interesting, so to speak. Now, I don't know where she is in this newest issue of House of X, but going back to Powers of X, Charles Xavier sent the X-Men to space to take out this Sentinel building space station. It was Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey and a few other members up there. It didn't go so well. They actually died. And you thought, okay, maybe reality is going to be reset. Maybe something's going to happen. These are Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine. They're not just going to go away. So we get to yesterday's issue, and Xavier brings in these 5 mutants. One of them is Hope Summers, one is Proteus, one is Goldballs. Yes, there's a mutant named Goldballs, and a few others. And through the combination of these 5 mutants, along with a little DNA storage that Mr. Sinister has that he's allowing Xavier and Magneto to take, they recreate Cyclops and Jean Grey in these like pods. And then Xavier, who every week uploads the current conscious of his mutants, X-Men, to Cerebro, blasts them with their current conscious. And just like that, they're back. Blew my mind. I'm like, what is going on here? It's just, wow. It's something totally radical and really hilarious when you think about a current criticism in the superhero culture about how nobody ever stays dead. This is like kind of embracing that criticism almost. But man, it's very interesting. Something, wow, I don't know what to say about it, except the fact that we have only a couple more weeks of these House of and Power of X, and then we start the regular books. And honestly, I don't know what's going on. Now, at the end of this issue, Xavier welcomes, I guess we say, bad mutants into the fold. He welcomes Apocalypse being the main one, as well as a bunch of other X-Men villains to Kuroka, as, it's become a mutant safe haven. How that partnership's going to go, probably not, because we're talking about Apocalypse here. But this issue just kind of, again, blew my mind a little bit. They said it was going to be very different from anything that X-Men has ever come, and so far it's been just that. With the changing of Moira to this, hatching of all the X-Men when they die on a mission. It's very interesting, very sci-fi-ish, out there, weird stuff. And at this point, I'm just completely intrigued about what they're going to do. First, on board with all this, but again, the fact that it's so different, that it's going a way that X-Men have never gone before, I'm just, at this point, just going to hold on to the bar and just see where the ride takes me, is what it is. But that issue came out yesterday. I wanted to share it because, again, it's just so far radical from what X-Men has ever been, and I'm curious to see where it goes from here, guys. But if you have checked out the newest issue of House of X, of course, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think, and if you haven't checked it out, go do so. It's totally weird, totally sci-fi, it's totally wacky, and I don't know what else to say about it except for give me the next issue. I'm ready for it. Let's do it. So, All right, guys, that is it for today. Like I said, I was just going to have a little short show. The main topics I didn't have a lot to say about, but I mainly want to talk about the X-Men, of course, because, I'm an X-Men fan, and this is something pretty big that's happening in X-Men right now. But, of course, if you have anything else to talk about, fire back on the Facebook groups, Twitter account, or dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. I'm going to sign off right now, but before that, of course, you can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at SlimDayspring12. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. The Emmys, of course, like I said, are this weekend, so you can check that out. Hopefully, you're going to be watching some football like me, and hopefully a lot of other good stuff. That's it. Go out, enjoy your lives, and until next time, may the Force be with us all.